Hi and welcome to Go Beyond Betty. Today we're going to make one of my favorite Thai dishes, and it's literally called pork on sticks. I got this cookbook in Thailand, so that makes me think it's very authentic. It's also called Moo Ping. So I'm going to make a couple variations because there's some things that we just can't always find in the grocery store, like cilantro roots, but I found that just using plain cilantro with the stems, I think it's just as good. So let's get started. To make life easy, I'm going to put everything in my food processor, grind it up, because it's just a marinade. So I've already cut up some pork. So I use the center cut, or you can use just the center cut pork loin. It's nice, light meat, kind of fatty in parts, and I really encourage you to not take the fat off. The fat's delicious, especially when it's grilled. So we have about 4.5 pounds of pork here, which is the full center cut portion. I've got about 1 cup of shallots, about 2 inches of ginger, a half a teaspoon of white pepper, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, and roughly like 5 cloves of garlic, but if some of them are small, some of them are big, balance it out, doesn't really matter how much. Then for the liquid stuff, we have a 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, same amount for oyster sauce, and then a 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. The other thing you're going to need is 1 bunch of cilantro, fully washed. It's okay if it's wet, because again, this is just a marinade. And then 1 can of coconut milk. Ideally, you have 2 cups of coconut milk, but I'm not going to open another can for 2.5 more ounces. We're just going to wing it the way it is. So we already have our meat cut. We're going to put all this in the food processor in a certain way. So we have to start with the harder, chunkier things on the bottom, which would be the shallots. And I did quarter them, so I didn't chop them, but I cut things up. Same with the ginger. I kind of put them in 1/2-inch pieces. The garlic, our spices, give it a good shake. Then let's get our cilantro in there. I'm going to give it a couple of twists just to break it up a little bit. I feel so strong when I do that. Really not. Okay, then sugar, soy sauce. You're going to have to get a little extra help for the oyster sauce. It'll pour, but you'll lose a lot in the thing if you don't scrape it out. My grandma would scrape every single thing out until it's completely dry. Then our 1 can of coconut milk. Make sure you give your coconut milk a really good shake. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a huge layer of fat that might kind of stick to the sides. You don't want that because you want all that delicious fat. So I'm going to blend this up until it is fully incorporated. Pause. All right, so we blended up our marinade. And again, this is enough for about 4.5 pounds of pork. You can put this in a container, and I really try to do that and not use plastic bags so much, but turmeric stains everything. The second it touches it, it basically stains it. So I'm just gonna use a plastic bag. This is more than enough for 2 family meals. So it's up to you. This is nice if we're entertaining. I can let it marinate for 2 days, do a Thai salad, which you can click up here and find, or make it into 2 meals. So you decide. Now I'm gonna just pour it in. Get the air out. Make sure you use really good Ziploc bags. Then it's time to massage. There's tons of liquid in here, so once you have it fully mixed, you're not gonna have to mix it again the next day. Be back in 2 days, and I'm gonna show you how to grill these up. It's been 2 days, it looks amazing. We're not gonna eat this whole thing. Again, this was 4.5 pounds. You could use metal skewers, that's what we have. They have a little twist at the bottom so that this part doesn't get crazy hot. You could do wooden ones, but you need to soak those. I tend to kind of forget about it. I'm not going to put them super smashed together. I like them to have a little bit of distance because I like surface area with my charred meats. Tom's going to do them on the charcoal grill. You could do them on the gas grill. I wouldn't do them on a smoker, right, babe?
You could. It would just have to be a really high heat, so no.
What would you do for the gas grill?
High heat as well on one side and indirect on the other. We're going to char it, and then we're going to finish cooking it with a little indirect heat.
Oh, so we are using the charcoal grill, so that's your method?
Yep.
Is hot heat.
Well, the charcoal, the temperature dies down, so we'll wind up charring it, but the heat source will diminish over time, so it'll wind up being indirect towards the end.
You sound like you know what you're talking about.
I don't really.
You do.
I try.
So I'm just going to keep skewering these until that's all we're going to have. By the way, this super fancy thing, you have to buy them in packs of 6 on Amazon. It was like $12. It has been the most handy little thing. All right, we're going to put these on the grill when I'm done, and we'll show you how to get them nice and charred and beautiful.
Okay, so we're gonna place our skewers on the grill. This is probably 500 degrees. Like, I can keep my hand there about 3 seconds and that's it. So we just want to place it on there, get a good char. And if you're doing the whole bag and you have excess marinade, keep that on hand so when you rotate them, you could drizzle it again and cover up some of that char and get a little more flavor on there.
So once they come off the grill, cover them, let them rest a little bit. It's one of those things, they can be served hot, they can be served cold, room temperature. So for a party, it's really easy to just have them be out. Make sure, obviously, you put them in the fridge after they've been out for an hour or so. But I love serving it on these fun wooden platters. If I had wine, oh, you're not supposed to see that problem. You can put your wine glass there. But I love to serve the pork on sticks with a nice Thai salad. Very fast, easy. I have a great shortcut with peanut sauce. You can buy this online. It's at a brick. It's delicious. So the pork on sticks, they're crispy, delicious, chewy, super tender. Look at that. Can you see it close?
Mm-hmm.
That's heaven right there. I dare say you can't buy this somewhere any better. I promise you can't. It's my place, so I can put this back. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I will always get you the best, fastest, easiest, most delicious recipes that I can find, because that's what I love to do. So thank you for joining me at Go Beyond Betty, where you are taking Thai whisks in the kitchen. We'll see you again next time. Bye.